Welcome to the video. Why is misleading information about fat so common? People listen to this. Has avocado daily lead to my hypothyroid disease, hair fall, abundance. The doctor wanted to take out my thyroid, or the other option was taking medicine the rest of my life. I said no. And then Lauren Lockman said, you need to take seaweed iiki, which is low in iodine, 3 times a week to 2 grams each time, soaked in water overnight. And that in combination with banana smoothies, because bananas support the thyroid. The fat is damaging the thyroid. So all these nonsense that you need your nuts 6 ounces in a day, all those nonsense about avocado once in a while is a need. No, because I am 12 years on fruit. I did crazy exercises in the yoga teaching in Tanglewood and was working fruit bringing in, heavy boxes bringing in, and was working in the garden at the same time. So never I got an injury. The former injuries of trembling nerves, popping up nerves in my calf muscle, my triceps muscle, triceps, and my quadriceps muscle. So by water fasting 3 times 3 weeks, staying on high water content fruit a long time, the problems disappeared. I could do crazy yoga, do the work, and no injury came in years and years. Now, 12 years on a fruitarian diet, I was working, digging holes, pulling out trees, and in combination with 3 times a week yoga and day 4 inversion, the old injuries came back. Why? Because I was eating into the green avocado one time, has, well that's all, eating the green avocado daily. So what happens when I eat Hass or the green avocado, which is higher in water? Almost every night, leaky gut. So it starts itching and liquid runs out of my intestines. And that liquid is super itchy. What I see in the day, I start losing more hair. So my digestion became worse and worse. And then some people gonna tell me, yeah, you still need to try it. You still need to try it one a day. And not knowing what they are saying, because in the beginning of last week, I've got avocado in the weekend. Only on the weekend. And then on Tuesday, an old problem in the quadriceps came up and was very intense. That day I was eating a watermelon, the problem went away. So high water content fruits have a critical role on your health. And now, after that injury, I still went in the weekend on Friday and Saturday one green avocado. Very yellow inside, very tasty, but you can see they are lacking in water content. So what happens if I sit down, even the old injury comes back in my triceps. So I am afraid to go on with yoga because that injury was gone for years. But you see the critical role of not eating fat, because eating the fat, the injury comes back. The thyroid start suffering again. So what happens when you have the nuts or the seeds? They are similar to vegetable oil, which is omega-6. So the nuts are way too high in omega-6. And if you understand thyroid health, the thyroid health depends on the hormones of T3 and T4. So every time you eat nuts, every time you eat avocado, durian or ackee fruit, the body starts lowering the T3 hormone. And then the thyroid health goes down. Then more hair falls out. And there is a video of Free Melon Eli Martyr with a red cross on nuts, seeds, avocado. And that is one of the best videos, because you can go on for months. Every day I've seen people eating 4 in a day and going on for months, but finally they tell me, I stop. I don't feel good anymore. And why is this? Because the burdening of the thyroid, the too much omega-6, 2 reasons. So I told you the watermelon was not organic. In Costa Rica they use nasty chemicals, but no matter, it was flushing the problem away. Sorry. It was flushing the problem away. So if you get a papaya which is 89 and you get a melon which is over 90, that little difference in water content makes a huge difference in health. And imagine some people don't recommend coconut, but some friends have every week an abundance load of coconuts, and the coconut is the most high in water. So the best way to restore your injuries is the high water content. Critical role of eating fruit with high water content. The papaya is a building fruit. The melons are astringent fruit. That is the difference. Pineapple, astringent fruit. And grapes, astringent fruit. The astringent fruit has the power, by the high water content, to flush out the old injury problems. Because remember what Dr. Batman said from India, the body is not sick, the body is crying, is thirsty for water. And there, the role of the high water content, the critical role, comes in. Because we are high watery bodies. When we cleaned out the old mucoid plaque which is in people for decades and many kilos, then the body becomes more healthy, more hydrated. Most people in the world have a maximum of 70%, and fruitarians on melons like Kev Ramon or Lauren Lockman, they have up to 90%, and that makes a huge difference in injuries. Because when Lauren was eating too much avo, he got injuries in the shoulder and the back coming again. And then I saw what the avos are doing, but not realizing what it can do to me. And some people say, well, even on a high water content, it can come back. If I stayed away from the fat, I know it has not been there for years. But once you go to the fat that is dehydrating, pulling water from the system, and it does, because when you urinate in a bottle, you see the quantity of urine in the morning, and every time after one green avocado or one Hass, you see the urination is less, and then you know it's taking water, no matter what they say. This is the only truth that you should believe. If we lived in nature, fat was not the whole year available. And now they import from all countries, it's available beside the local season. It's available the whole year. And then people think, yeah, we can eat every day one. We cannot. finally, after a while, after some months, you're gonna pay the price. You're gonna pay. Because the coaches as Orville Douglas are the best coaches in the world. And Orville is very honest. If I ask Orville, hey Orville, what do you think about chemicals, watermelons that are treated with chemicals? Is that a good idea to to use them? And he said, I have no experience in the farming, but I have. And the thing is, when it has chemical spraying, it will still stop the old injuries because I experienced it. I went back to the fat, injury came back. We are having a life full of fats, oils, mayonnaise, nuts, coconut fat. And all that fat is by the high omega-6 forming inflammation. And there you have the root cause of the injury that is coming back.